All right, today we are going to go through reasons why we quit. I want to welcome everyone here today, and it's great to have you here. So let's get right to it. I'm Lou Monaco, certified health and life coach and EFT level 2 practitioner, and I want to welcome you here. I'm owner of Life Health Best Self Coaching. So today is hot video topic is my top 7 reasons why we quit. I know that I'm always pushing positivity, but what I don't want to do is I don't want to shy away from getting into topics that make you uncomfortable. And sometimes you have to bring the hard stuff up because that's when we can get outside our comfort zones, and this is where change happens. So today, I'm bringing you my top 7 reasons why we quit. Stay with me here because this can really help you move forward with your goals, and stick around to the end because I have something really special for you. So, all right, let's dive in. So number 1 is we don't plan for life. We don't understand how the wellness cycle works. We start a new thing. We get really excited. We get motivated and inspired to get going. And this is where we get fired up. We press in. We get some results pretty quickly. We get excited and we start to feel really good. Then life happens. You get sick. Work projects get consuming. You get injured. You have stress at home. And this is where you get really overwhelmed with spending your energy on your goal, get frustrated, then you throw in the towel and you quit because it's just too hard and to maintain with everything else going on. That's life, right? This problem here is that we don't understand our danger zones. We don't plan in advance and we don't prepare ahead for triggers. Then we lose motivation when we fall into the same old traps or habits. You see that there's an arrow there. This is a cycle, and you can probably reflect on how that you might have felt this before in your life, where you go through this and then you start you start the new thing again, and then you go through, that thing ends and then you start a new thing again. So you can probably resonate with how that cycle works and understand that a lot of energy and effort goes into moving forward instead of just a little energy into thinking forward here. It just leaves you frustrated because you're beaten up by this process, right? Because it's a continual cycle. And you see, we spend a lot of energy in this fired up stage. We spend a lot of energy here, but what we need to focus more on is life. We need to focus more here. If we don't plan for life, then we will find it extremely hard to stick to our goals, which makes it really easy to quit and really easy to continue this cycle for a long time. And if you're with me, I'm sure that you want to change that. So when we plan for life, it will help. All right. Number 2 is we fail to make the transition from motivation to inspiration. We fail to make the transition from motivation to inspiration. Oftentimes we start a new program or goal motivated by external circumstances. The doctor tells you need to lose 50 pounds or you're going to have to go on new medications, or you break up with your significant other and want to attract someone new. So you look to your exterior appearance as a motivator, and then you're motivated to get back into shape. So that's external motivation. Or maybe you've just been diagnosed with a serious chronic illness, or issue, diabetes, cancer, heart disease, and you're driven by a combination of panic and motivation that you need to make some changes. That is a lot of external motivation. Okay, but this is where your mindset comes in, and the difference is that you start this process with I have to, but you find it hard to transition to I want to do this. So that you're motivated to start, but not inspired. And that lack of inspiration is what can lead you to quit. And this is where your why has to be bigger than your why not. For example, where your doctor recommends some changes that shaped your why, but when you get down to the nitty gritty and how to make those changes, you might try a few things and you might feel a little overwhelmed. So you get caught up in the mindset where your why nots seem a whole lot bigger than your why, right? You don't know how to keep going, or you don't know how to exactly the changes that you need to make, and you don't want to fail. So that this external motivation is just not enough to get you through. You need something to shift you to inspiration, and you must clearly define your why. And this is important when you do hit a rough patch or when life happens. You can fall back on your why versus your why not. All right, reason number 3 is we fail to have the right accountability. We don't establish accountability in every area of your life. And most people think, I can do this on my own. Well, if that worked, you would have already done the things that you need to do already. And where this is hard, it's hard to say, but you get in your own head. I need to be accountable to myself first. This is a language you might be speaking to yourself. I should be able to do this on my own by now. I'm old enough. I should know better. I've done this before. I know all the ways that I failed before, and to try again, it's pressure, and it's beating up on yourself for the things that you've done in the past. And this is the internal language that you're saying to yourself, and it's really setting yourself up to quit. So we need to be supported by other people. And as hard as it is to admit, we need to connect outside of our own head and be open and willing to learn from others, to listen to others, to be supported by others, and to let others in on your journey. And this might be a spouse, it might be a coworker, a friend, a family member, or even a trainer or a coach. Letting go just a bit, giving up some of that control, and really opening yourself up. And many of us get this backwards, and we don't see this as valuable. Honestly, not having accountability in every area of your life, it makes this process really challenging. It could be, by setting up accountability. You could set up, a walking buddy at work. You could have a workout buddy, someone that's going to help you to stay on track, someone that's going to support you, someone you can talk with, a spouse that's one of the sabotages we'll talk about in a minute. But, you got to bring someone else in, choosing the right people in kind of every area of your life. And, even if it's someone that's more knowledgeable about a topic than you, it makes all the difference. And when you don't have that, it makes it, and you do it and try to do it all alone, it makes it way too easy to quit. And don't think that you can do it all alone, or that you have to do it all alone. Don't hack it out alone. Don't try to do it alone. It hasn't served you in the past, sure. But you can be accountable to yourself, but also be open to be supported, because it can make this process a whole lot more enjoyable, and you might even inspire them as well. All right, so reason number 4 is we fail to own it. This one is a biggie. You need to own your transformation. People fail to take personal responsibility, and so often when we are tempted to quit, we point to external factors. My job's too stressful. I hate my job. I'm unsatisfied in my job. I don't feel challenged by my job. I just can't take one more thing. I have too many commitments. I just can't handle it. I just hate my job. Feeling really unhappy now. I'm unhappy in every area of my life, and how about this one? I'm caring for others, and I just don't have time for myself. Or my kids give me a hard time about our food choices. It's really hard to find balance. Or it's a struggle. Or how about this one? Changing our diet requires so much energy and money. I just can't do it. And one that I hear all the times is my kids' activities consume so much of my time. I can't do it all. I can't manage it all. I can't be all for everybody. I'm really struggling. So all these things are external circumstances, and they become the reason you quit. You're pointing the finger outward. This even shows up with your spouse or your relationships. When you're not supported, when somebody's not on board, or you're constantly being sabotaged, or somebody's constantly sabotaging your efforts, we continue to point the finger outward. My friend Adam Scheibel says, one of the hardest exercises you'll ever do is point the finger from them to you. You need to control the things that can be controlled. And this is a huge mindset shift. When we forget, what we forget is that we have more control than we think. And you might have not to have time to eat great one day. So when you do eat, be mindful and eat the best and what's the best available. Or your kids might have a really, tight schedule this week and might have you running around like crazy, but you can plan ahead. You can, plan your meals, manage your stress and the timing of getting to those activities. And you have a lot of control in those situations. Or how about, your job might suck the life out of you, but you have control over how you'll survive the day, or even, positioning yourself to make a change. That you do have a lot more control than you realize. So owning it means shifting from that victim mentality to empowering yourself. And it all starts with the mindset that you are not a victim of these circumstances and you can own your own journey. So stop looking for reasons to quit and start setting your foundation on you and how you can strengthen yourself for this journey. All right, reason number 5 we fail is that we fail to keep perspective. All right, I see 3 phases of your mindset of transformation, and I call this setting your aim. I like my acronyms, right? First, you assess areas of change, and then you invest your energy, and then M is maintain momentum. You assess areas that need change. You start to set your goals. You invest a ton of energy and focus towards your goal. And you do this for a while, but then your mindset shifts. You start to question whether you can maintain this pace and momentum. So much time at the gym or working out, so much effort to plan for your exercise, so much effort into changing or tweaking your diet, so much focus on me. And you get in your own head and you start to make this mountain in your mind about how you will ever be able to maintain this long term. And you start to get a little uncomfortable with things like your success. What does success look like for me right now? Right now, it looks like a lot of work. So you start to get back in your own head, and then and you start to get in your own head a little bit. So how we fail to keep perspective is when maintaining this pace. This is where many people quit. It's just too hard. I can't maintain this pace forever. This is consuming too much of my life. Your mindset begins to shift and you begin to lose perspective. You have to know that this reason, because when you enter this phase of your mind, you need to remember your why. You need to understand that this pace is short term until you achieve a level of balance that can be maintained. This is short term to get to that tipping point where you establish good habits, where you begin to stack some good healthy habits to get to begin to make the important lifestyle shifts to really make this sustainable and long term. And shifting your focus to your health for a bit, which might mean sacrificing a little bit on the lifestyle end. This is when you hit that point where you can bring in some more balance with your lifestyle. So, a little focus more on health right now, a little less focus on lifestyle. But once you do hit that balance point, it doesn't have to be, it's not a long lifetime sentence. You're gonna develop. I think that we start to build that up as a long-term mountain where we got to keep that perspective. It's really important. All right, reason number 6 is life happens. It's number 6 is it's just not a good time. Probably one of the most common reasons I hear from my clients is is, the holidays are coming up. I'm just too busy. My kids have this thing, and I just don't have the money, or I can't invest time right now. I don't have the time for it right now. It's just not a good time for it. Very common, right? Okay, so forgive me, but I'm going to challenge you a little bit here. And what I want you to do is I want you to go look in the mirror and go look at your kids right now and say, honey, or even to yourself, I'm sorry, I just can't take care of myself right now. I don't have the time to be healthy for you. I don't want to invest the energy in myself. So I have energy to play with you. I have energy to care for you. I can't do this for myself right now because being healthy isn't that important. There's so many more things important. It's hard to say. It's hard to say out loud. But I got to bring you here because this is the hard love section. But seriously, the best investment or return on your investment in your health is investing in your health. You will always get a return. You will always see value in your investment. But understand there is no perfect time. There will never be a perfect time. And it just won't happen. So let's lose that reason to quit, right? We're just going to take that right off the table right now that I'm not quitting because it's not a good time, right? You're going to set that mindset to yourself. The time is now to be healthy, to invest or to feel your best, because when you do that, you're showing up for yourself. You're showing up for your family. You're showing up for work and to all of your commitments, feeling your best. It's always good to feel like our optimal selves. We can give ourselves grace when we want to quit, but don't throw in the towel on yourself. Don't quit on yourself because you are important. To hold a strong foundation in your family, as a man, as a woman, as a father, as a mother, as a friend, as a coworker, as a caretaker, as a family member, as a husband, as a wife, it's always a good time to show up for yourself. So that by saying that there is no perfect time, we can lose that as an excuse or reason to quit. All right, number 7, last one here is your why big enough? When life hits you hard and you're tempted to quit, your why stack has to be bigger than your why not. And you might need to remind yourself during your transformation of why you are doing all this in the first place. And you're bound to hit a wall. Everyone does at some point. So to bypass this, you have to clearly see and consistently have a strong why stack to get your mind past the why nots. And as you're going along, continue to add to your why stack. I was more clear at work today. I had the energy to play with my kids. That made me feel really good. I planned for exercise this week and I followed through. That made me feel really successful. It was a challenging week with my kids' activities, but I was able to stick with my goals. I can do this consistently. Those are a lot of whys. How about, or even if your why is emotional eating, remind yourself of all the successes and remember your why. Maybe you got new whys coming in, write those down. So keep your why stack bigger than your why nots. This will keep your momentum going from that initial motivation to continue to inspire you to move forward. So got that? Your why stack has to be bigger. All right, friends, there you have it. My top 7 reasons why we quit. And, the first one was we don't plan for life. The second one was, failing to transition from motivation to inspiration, setting the right accountability in every area of our life. We don't own it. Keeping perspective. It's not a good time. And how big is your why? So you might feel a little beat up after this video, but honestly, this is healthy to address some of these things. And I'm sure at least one of these reasons hit home for you. I hope that it did, maybe more than one. But you can see a common theme here is all about mindset. And to keep out of these common reasons to quit, we must have our mindset in a strong and a healthy place. Because the battles are won and lost in the mind, right? And a motivation, whether it's internal, external, is what gets you started. Inspiration keeps you going, but a strong mindset will continue to strengthen you for what comes your way in life and in this journey. So, if you've liked what you've learned here today, if you're looking for more, I've got you covered. I'm launching this new program called the 7-Day Mindset Reset. And this is an online self-paced program where you can get your mindset in a really good, healthy place before beginning any new program or investment. You will have one module each day. The program includes a full workbook and bonus material, including reframing your thoughts and emotions, positivity boosting activities, and a wheel of life exercise, which is great for setting, if you're not sure where to start, that will really help you set a focus on the area that's most important for you. So it may not be what you expect it to be. So it's a really great exercise. So this can be a total game changer and really help you uncover some of the reasons you quit and what's truly holding you back from achieving your goals. So in my 7-Day Mindset Reset, we will cover one topic each day, including conquering your thoughts, avoiding negativity, staying positive, dropping resentment, releasing control, focus, balance, and rest. I really am proud of this program. I love, bringing in the balance and rest because that really is a life skill, and how we have to rest our minds to, it's not hit it hard at the gym 7 days a week. You got to build in rest. And I totally support that for balance and overall balance because that will help your mindset. All right. So click here in the comments to learn more. Have a link. I'll throw a link up there for you. But the 7-Day Mindset, it's only $25, which is really a bargain for this amazing tool. I wanted to put something together that's really going to be a foundation of, setting your foundation and mindset because, like I said, if we don't have our mindset right, it's really difficult to sustain and achieve long-term success. And, I encourage you, spend 7 days in my program to really shift your mindset and experience a whole new approach to discover your best self. And guess what? I have a super special offer here for those that stayed until the end today. The first 3 people to comment on this post, I will allow to join this program absolutely free. I'm so confident that this will really help you. I wanted to offer this as a resource and I'm excited to, release this. I worked really hard on it. So click on the link to learn more. Comment below for a chance to get in for free, and let's position you to approach this coming year or your upcoming, goal in a whole new way. So I want to thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me here today. If you have questions, you can private message me, you can email me. And I just want to encourage you today that, I'm always here for you, and I always want to see you have your optimal health, live your best self always. Until next time, take care.